What's our conditioning? Well, to use a textbook definition, the dictionary says that a person's condition is their situation with respect to their circumstances. So that's nice and broad, which is interesting because it suggests that we are conditioned by many factors. We're influenced by many elements. And these range from our education to our family upbringing, our cultural background, religious influences. These are all elements of the environment that contribute towards shaping our worldview. And they contribute to a largely unconscious influence in us, a way that we filter things. This is how we perceive and process things based on these influences. And it influences us more the less we're aware of it. If we're not aware of our conditioning at all, then we're unconscious of how we are motivated by these internal elements. So conditioning is where we come from, what we inherit psychologically from our family, from our parents, our culture, our country. Does that mean it's good or bad? Well, it's really just an accumulation of external factors. It's neither good nor bad. It is what it is. What's important is to understand it, because only through understanding it can we determine what's valid and how does it impact the way that we act in the world. And the reality is that our conditioning tends to influence our decision-making and our behavior much more than we realize. But all of this conditioning, is this who I am? That's the question to ask ourselves as well. Am I defined by my culture, by my country, by my language, by all of these elements? Or is the human being something more than just that? We can choose to define ourselves in that way. We can choose to identify purely with our nation. And of course, you know, where we come from is going to contribute a lot to who we are in how we see things and what we've experienced. But beyond our conditioning, there is something else that the human being can identify with, and a sense of individuality that is fundamental to us, which in reality, the philosophers suggest can only be discovered through an education that helps us to know ourselves, as Socrates would say, to see what we identify with beyond external circumstances, what is fundamental to us, which would really, in a synthetic sense, be our values, beyond these influences of an external nature.